Hello everyone and welcome back to the show. Today on your daily startup, I want to talk about how you need to get better at ignoring things. Honestly, there are certain things in your life, certain things in my life that is better ignored. Hello friend, this is the voice of Ademola Morebise. Hello friend, I believe that we need to get better at ignoring problems. Honestly, there are certain kind of problems that are better ignored. I remember the words of Sir Winston Churchill when he said that if you stop to throw stones at every dog that barks at you, you will never get to the train station on time. Honestly, that is a very good metaphor for what this video is about. When you think about it, I mean, when you have a goal, a purpose, something you're trying to work towards, there are always going to be things that will distract you from that central goal, right? We have to understand that in as much as success comes from people that pay attention to details, but honestly, not all details count, not all details matter, right? And so we need wisdom so that we can sort through all the things that are bombarding us every single day and consider which of these is important and which of these is better off ignored. A lot of times you realize that so many things that we sweat over, we bother over them, at the end of the day, you realize that it's meaningless, like it has no meaning, it has no bearing, and things like that. Personally, I love looking out for challenges I have and ask myself, which of these challenges will no longer matter if I'm able to succeed at this other thing, So maybe I've got 5 problems, right? I say, okay, which of these problems would disappear or go away if I solve something else on the list? So I believe that is a way to tackle your high-value problems. Because yes, I believe there are high-value problems and there are low-value problems. Honestly, low-value problems are better off ignored in favor of, something else. So for example, rather than thinking about how you want to patch something, for example, maybe your energy is better spent, right, trying to get a new one instead. Like if I patch this one today, I got to patch it again tomorrow and patch it in 2 days time, right? But if I focus my energy on how can I get something new altogether, that might save me, the time, the energy, and some stress down the road. We have to understand this concept of focusing on details, but not all details count, and so there are certain things that are better off ignored. In the passing of time, you realize that so many things that bother you become irrelevant, and honestly, if ignoring it can make it better, then I should ignore it. This doesn't work for all situations, and that's where wisdom comes in. You have to understand your context, understand your situation, and ask yourself, if I ignore this problem, will it get worse? If I ignore this problem, will it get better? What's going to happen if I ignore this problem? Okay, and when in doubt, of course, you can always do some consultation, isn't it? But at the end of the day, realize that I can assure you that most of the things we tend to worry about, most of the things we tend to fret about are best ignored. Like when you ignore something, right, over time it either becomes irrelevant or the true value presents itself, and you realize, oh, it was a low value problem all along, right? And the other things I could do right now that could make that irrelevant, right? So you want to look at everything you are doing and then identify the main thing. So this is my main goal. I know what my main goal is, and I break down my main goal. That these are the top 3 things I need to do so I can get closer to my main goal. So there's this other goal right here that looking like a problem, but if I ignore it and I can get this other thing done, I realize that getting this one done now make these other ones irrelevant. So those are the things I want to get into. Of course, you don't want to ignore things that if you ignore these ones now, it's actually a building block. So because you've ignored it now, so it piles up, that will get you into trouble in future. But if you're able to play this ignoring things game very well, I can assure you that most of the time you realize that you are able to, make better progress on what you want, because that goal of yours, that outcome you really, really want, if you don't focus enough, you're not going to get it. And there's a way things will come up, challenges come up, and the purpose of that challenge is just to drain you of the time and energy you need to concentrate and focus on what really matters. So that is why we have to understand how to guard ourselves and guard our creative space so that we don't drain our energy on things that will not matter in the long run. So a lot of times, rather than patch here and there, you ignore it all and focus on the new thing. Rather than thinking about you want to appease a few things, just focus on the new thing. Once you get that one done, you're going to cover for every other thing. Every other thing becomes irrelevant. We call it the domino effect. Now, what is the most important thing, that if I can do this thing now, it will have a ripple effect that will cover all these other things and move me closer to my goals. Once I can identify that, that is what I need to focus on. I don't need to obsess on all the details. I just need to find out which details matters, which detail does not matter, which problems matter, which problem does not matter. If my goal is to get on the train towards my destination, going to work in the morning, I realize that all the backing dogs it's irrelevant, right? They're just backing. I mean, if I stop to take action on that, I might miss out on the big thing. And honestly, nobody wants to miss out on the big thing, isn't it? Why don't you repeat after me this morning? Say, God daily loads me with benefits. I am bold and strong. Every day, in every way, I am getting better and better. My name is Ademola Morebise. Thank you so much for taking out time to check out this video. Remember, you can lead a formidable life. Have a great day.